Good afternoon, traders, or good morning, good evening, wherever you're from, guys. Hope you are all well and welcome to the live stream. It's the first one of the week, so I hope you all had a lovely weekend and didn't do anything that I didn't do, that I wouldn't do. Guys, I've got to start by saying I have a bit of man flu. Right, so us men out there know that is potentially lethal. But if I sound a bit gravelly, a bit snotty, yeah, man flu, guys. I've had it since the weekend, and it's not pleasant. Also, guys, what we're going to do is that we're not going to moan about my man flu. We're also going to look at some trades that I am in, and because of all of what has been going on in terms of Trump and Greenland and sanctions, it's been a difficult week as well. So it's all a bit doom and gloom this end. But, you know, of course, guys, we're going to have weeks like this, and I'm going to talk through it all and try and make sense of it all, right? Because we've seen some real euro strength come into the market. That's affected my trades. And we saw some strength come into the flight to safeties literally Monday morning, and we had some big gap ups and gap downs. So all of this has impacted my trades this week, and we're going to look at that, right? You know, there's no point me standing here, guys, and say, you know, here's all my winning trades, trading's easy, I'm brilliant. You know, trading's not like that. You're going to have weeks like this where, you know, it seems like all the trades are going against you. But, you know, I've been in this game long enough to know this will end, right? It's only a small part of your trading month or even your trading year, right? So yeah, we'll make sense of all that, guys. What else are we going to do? We are also going to we're going to reveal, get my words right. I have had about 22 lemsips over the course of 48 hours. So if I'm a little bit groggy as well, can't get my words right, then you know why. But yeah, we're also going to reveal the winner of the $5,000 challenge. All right, so we're going to reveal that as well. And then we're also going to take a look at as many of your questions as possible, guys, right? So I can see a few of you coming in now. So Luigi, hi. Brett, hi. Tony, hi. Ravi, hi. Hope you're all well, guys. So let's start with what's been a tough week, right? So it's been a tough week because basically I was selling Euro US dollar. I was selling Euro US dollar last week and closed all profit and everything before the weekend finished, right? So that was a really good week for Euro US dollar. And if we go to the bigger picture as well, deal with this range. Okay, we're in this ranging market between here and here, and we're still seeing all these big bearish weekly candles. So I'm still thinking Euro US dollar is a sell trade, right? There's nothing currently telling me otherwise on the weekly chart, right? Now, on the daily, it's a bit different, but on the weekly, right, looking at that, there was a high probability we'll make it back down to these lows if Trump doesn't keep opening his mouth. And I must say as well, guys, right, you know, Trump is almost factoring into my strategy, right? Things I'm going to do, I'm not going to leave flight to safety pairs open over the weekend, right? You know, that'll be one consideration. And, you know, over the year, right, you know, you're going to be on the right side of some of the things Trump says, and you're going to be on the wrong side of some of the things Trump says and how it, you know, geopolitically affects everything and currencies. So, you know, although I've been on the wrong side of what has come out of Trump's mouth and the resulting impact, there will be times during this year where trades will go in my favor because what Trump says, right? So it works itself out. I'm not playing like the victim here. It will work itself out over the year. But back to euro US dollar, that is still a weekly sell trade. And on the day chart, guys, right, what I'm holding out for is this, right? So as you can see, we are in a daily downtrend. I re-entered here because it was literally the last daily high, right? And I put my stop well out of the way, or so I thought, right, to give it enough leeway to play out. Now, today's daily wick will be a big indication of whether Trump's comments will see continued strength or not. Because if we see a candle like this, right, on the day chart, I want to get out of my trade. I'm hanging on to this trade by the thread of by the skin of my teeth. Guys, I'm under heavy medication. I have man flu. Bear with me, right? So I'm holding on to this trade by the skin of my teeth, right? Now, if it just knocks me out, I can't do anything about it, right? But if we end up with a big bullish candle like this, I want to get out of this trade. And let's just say it retraces before it goes higher. I'm just going to look to get out of this trade here, right? And this euro strength for me then becomes genuine strength, right? Because we've broken a daily high, right? Now, if we get a big wick rejection, right? Imagine price has to go some to do this, and then it closes, we get a candle. Let me draw that again. If we get a big wick that comes back down and holds on to that high, right? That tells me that this is still a very, very good selling opportunity. Admittedly, right now, guys, it's not looking very good for my trade. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're looking at with euro US dollar. It's been tricky with euro US dollar. The other one was on Monday, like Swiss franc pairs. I had US dollar Swiss franc open as well. And my trade just got blown out. So I don't know why everything's. Sorry, guys, if the things are a bit slow today. I do not know why. I have the quickest Wi-Fi on the planet. So yeah, there's very much a risk off at the moment, right? So you can see that with US dollar Swiss franc. I mean, just look at that, right? When I entered the trade, again, everything's looking quite rosy, right? We're in an uptrend. We've got this bullish candle that broke all of these highs. I got a retrace. I'm thinking, Tom, we've got a great opportunity with this trade. At the weekend, Trump opens his mouth. It doesn't matter what he says. It's the impact of what he says, right? And the impact is we saw strength in the flight to safety. So this knocked me out of a trade as well. So yeah, that's my week so far, guys, right? It's only sort of halfway through Tuesday, and we've had a few losing trades in a short space of time there. But like I say, guys, right, we learn from the losing trades, and also you're going to have spells like this. So, it's part of trading. And yeah, and just from a person who shares my trades and shares my thoughts on trading, it's important that you share these moments as well, right? You're going to have crap times at trading, right? Where the conditions are very difficult. It could be Trump, it could be something completely else, right? So, get used to them, right? This won't be the only one during the year. The only thing is you want to get off to a nice winning start during the year, but, we've still got a lot of the month left. So that is me, guys. I've had a bit of a moan there. I feel better. I've also got man flu. So, if someone could please just come over and cuddle me. Oh dear, I'm sweating. I can feel the lemsip coming out of me. Yeah, so that's me, guys. Right, I can see we're getting some questions coming in now as well. So hi to everyone. Hi, Nero. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Sylvain. Hi, Max. Yeah, so Max saying here, this is some big moves, risk off positioning, but this kind of move could reverse fast. Yes. Yeah, and this is my thinking with that Euro US dollar sell trade. And also, I want to show you something here, guys, right? And it's Trump. I'm going off the man. Never particularly liked him. But you remember, if we go back to the weekly, if you remember the first bout of, right, this was the first bout of tariffs, right? And, you know, I remember us having a live stream and we're like, Jesus Christ, the indices are dropping, you know, what the hell's going on? And this was the first round of tariffs. And then just look at that. This was the first mention of tariffs. And as with a lot of things that Trump says, people, you know, sometimes his bark is worse than his bite, right? I don't know if you know that saying, but, you know, a lot of what he says, people take with a pinch of salt because it goes away, right? And he doesn't follow through. And, you know, this is what happened here. You know, at this point, you should be filling your boots with stocks. Excuse me, guys. But it was such a quick reaction back up, you know, you'd have to move very fast. And this is my point. And Trump, you know, gusto. But yeah, he does bring a difficult environment to trade within, and I don't like him for that. I'm going to pen him a letter. Mr. Trump, at the White House, stop opening your mouth when I'm in a trade. So yeah, there you go, guys. Right, hi, Adrian, Nero, okay, hi. We're getting some questions coming in, guys. Right, before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and smash that notification button. And also, right now, we are going to reveal the winner of the $5,000 funded challenge. So, drum roll. Let's bring up my wheel of names. Right, so to enter this, guys, all you had to do was join our Discord and answer our question of the day from last week. So these are all the people that entered and answered the question. Let's find out who has won. Not only do we do trading, it's also like a game show. It's not usually like this. Right. So here we go, guys. Gee, I thought you was in there. Stu, you are this week's winner. So Stu, please get in contact with us on the Discord, DM Simply Forex, and we will sort that out for you. So congratulations, Stu. You are the winner. Right, guys, let's go back to the chart. So let's okay, we've got Adrian here. Hello, Tom and all. Great time to be a football fan. Adrian is a Man United fan. I'm surprised we haven't given him a lifetime ban. But yeah, they beat City 2-0. So well done. Got to give credit where credit's due. Right, what else are we looking at? Ravi, I took a short on pound Aussie dollar at 2. Would like your view. Okay, let's have a look at pound Aussie dollar. And I'm actually going to show you a trade I got into earlier as well. Okay, so you started entering at 2.00000. Right, so you entered basically bang on there. So let's put a blue line in right there. Right, So Ravi has basically started selling at that point. Now, I wouldn't take a sell. Excuse me, guys. I wouldn't take a sell at that point because we are at a support level. Right now, actually, sorry, we're on the weekly charts. Let's go to the daily chart. But yeah, we still haven't quite cleared all of these lows in here, right? These lows have not been fully broken and they're still not fully broken. So let's look at some clues, right? So now if we looked at the day chart, you know, price is clearly, I would say this happened, right? Now we're clearly in a downtrend, right? But we're not making lower lows, right? We're not. But we are getting lower highs, right? But we're at support level, which hasn't broken. So for that reason, I couldn't take a short with pound Aussie dollar, right? Because I'm not in the business of, you know, wanting things to happen. I want them to happen and then I trade them. Okay, so what I mean by that is if we get a nice big bearish pound Aussie dollar candle like this, and we clearly break all of this support in here, I am very much a pound Aussie dollar seller, right? Retrace into here, let's come lower, right? In fact, let me just get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing, right? Yeah, sorry guys, you couldn't see that. But yeah, if I get a big bearish break of that level, right, then a retest, then I'm all over it. But I cannot sell into that support through there. I just can't. So for me, Ravi, not quite a trade at the moment, but you know, it's looking like this level wants to break. So we're getting lower highs, right? There's lots of selling pressure. So yeah, but I need to wait for that break. Let's have a look at the weekly as well. And again, if we zoom out, you can see this level has proven to be very important historically, right? Which is why it's a good level. But again, on the weekly, we haven't quite broke these lows in here. So for me, Ravi, it's a bit premature, right? I can understand why you've done it. There's lots of selling pressure. We're in a downtrend, but we haven't broken that support level as yet. Let's have a look at the H4, just see what that is doing. Right, and look at that reaction at that low. Right, that would worry me at that low, that big bullish H4. And what would also worry me if we start breaking H4, right, and we start getting a build up. And this is the last daily high here. So yeah, generally speaking, guys, I don't sell into support. I don't buy into resistance. So yeah. Nero's saying, I haven't taken any trades this week so far. Looks blurry and no value. Yeah, I mean, hindsight's a beautiful thing and we don't have it in trading, but I wish I hadn't, right? Because normally I don't pay a lot of attention to the noise. And Trump for me is noise, right? You know, I've been doing this for many years. And, you know, there's always been noise. There's always been something the prime minister's done or the president's done, or some countries attack this country, or something's happened economically. Or, you know, there's always been something going on, right? What I'm interested in is cold, hard facts on a chart. And that's how I trade. But obviously, things like this week where there's so many things going on, tariffs, Greenland, you know, you've got the economic forum in Davos today, you know, maybe it's not a bad idea just to sit out and let things settle, right? And bearing that in mind, I want to show you a new. So yeah, you can see this trade here, guys. I'm going to move this down here. Because again, if we go to the weekly chart, right, and we zoom in, right, you can clearly see that we were in this downtrend, right? We've broken that last high in here. We've got this new higher low here, right? Higher low, and we're in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, right? Big on the daily, right? We broke. Sorry, guys, I apologize for the stream today. It seems particularly slow. Maybe there's problems with the internet in the area. It's never normally like this. In fact, it's like 5G, all singing, all dancing. But yeah, back to my point, guys, right? We've broken this key resistance level in here with New Zealand Swiss franc, right? This candle broke in because we've already had the weekend, but now we're seeing this big sell-off again, right? Now, whether this remains, we shall see. We've still got to let this daily candle play out, but we've got weekly in an uptrend. We've got this break of this level, so we have, and we've got all this nice room to move into. If we break that, if we go down to the H4, right, you could also see, right, that H4 is nicely in an uptrend, right? It was here, I'm here, right, and we're in this uptrend. So once price come back to this level, I entered, right? Stopped below these lows and this trend line. So again, we're going to see today if this every day reeling here, big day, yeah, for the currency pairs today. Right, what else are we looking at? Yeah, so CJ says, looks like you're having the same kind of week as mine last week. Yes, CJ, I'm not having a great week so far. Okay, so Ravi, yes, I agree. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, so okay, so Ravi wouldn't sell into support. Max here. Yeah, same for me. Big noise today. Those days happen. Was expecting it to be some big noise on yen, but that didn't happen, right? Yen what with everything going on, right, hasn't been strong. I'm just picking the nearest yen pair. So if I apologize, guys, for this keep dropping out. Right, but if you look at yen, right, guys, that's it. What I've done is closed the live on TikTok. Okay, I think it was too much for everything. So yeah, there you go, guys. Should be fine now. Because we're streaming here and I'm streaming on TikTok at the same time. The power of technology. So yeah, you would think with everything going on, you know, yen would have been, strong, right? All this economic turbulence, the indices have been dropping, right? The indices have been, dropping. We've got this big gap down on Monday. You would have thought yen would have become strong, right? If the indices are doing this, then Japanese yen, right, becomes strong. But it's just not, right? If I go back to New Zealand yen, right, and we look at the daily chart, I mean, just look at Monday's candle, super bullish, and it's still bullish now, right? You go to any yen pair. I won't go to euro yen because obviously that'll be flying. But if we went to Aussie dollar yen, okay, we're seeing a bit of comeback there. But, we're not seeing the impact that we thought that sell-off would have on the indices. So yen's an interesting one at the moment. And you also have to consider, like if we go to the weekly chart, yen is so overextended, really, right? So it's due a retrace, but not even everything that's going on geopolitically has led to yen strength. So what will, right? Yeah, okay, right. So we've got another question here, guys, as well, right? So this is a really good, honest. Yeah, so we just got John opening up here, right? So this is going to be really interesting, guys. Before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. And also, guys, if you want to trade exactly how I do, then please take a look at the offer we have right now. Check out this vid. Where is it? Check out this vid, guys.
Traders, it's 2026, and if you're here, then I'm sure you want to make this the year where you start trading like a pro and start achieving real consistency and real results. Right now, there is 50% off the Simply Forex complete trading course, jam-packed with almost 20 years of my trading experiences, skills, strategies, and tools. And if that's not enough, once you have completed the course, you will get 2 one-hour mentorship sessions with me, Trader Tom, included in the price. This offer finishes on the 15th of February, so don't delay. Click on the link in the vid description and use the code at checkout.
Okay, so there you go, guys. Check that out. That is only running till the 15th of Feb. Right, so we got a question here from John. So must be honest, I've reached my limit with trading. I'm just going forwards and backwards. Loads of effort and little to no progress. So every trader has been there, right? And, you need to pinpoint why you think you're not moving forward, right? Do you think it's your strategy, right? Do you think it's something to do with your money and risk management? Do you think it's your psychology? Is it a mixture of those things, right? You really need to identify your weaknesses as a trader, right? I said it's one of the biggest things you need to do is look within and understand your weaknesses, right? And be very honest with yourself. So that's the first thing I would do, John, right? Why are your trades not working out? Why are the losing trades not working out? Why are you just toing and froing and not getting anywhere, right? You really need to pinpoint why. Now, all I can talk about is my own experience, right? And I've, again, any trader would tell you they've blown accounts. I have blown accounts, right? I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't. I have. And some of them were big numbers, right? So I got to a point where you just have to get very serious with yourself, right? So you've got to stop treating trading like a hobby and treat it like a business, a job. So that's one mindset change you need to make, right? And I say enough traders don't do that, right? It's very much a part-time hobby, right? And then secondly, the big change came for me is when I just stripped back my charts, right? And you know, guys, obviously I share how I trade, and it's price action. It's raw data on a chart, okay? And that's how I've traded for the last several years and how I will always trade, because that is what has given me consistent results. Okay. Now, that was a turning point for me, right? And it sort of, I went from, toing and froing to, a bit of consistency. And then that consistency just grew and I became a better and better trader because I had the system, right, which is price action. And then, money and risk management to me has always been very simple. It's just maths, right? But then the psychology became simpler because I found a strategy that suited me and made sense to me and simplified trading for me. It became easier to repeat and easier to manage my emotions, right? Before I'd have like 6 indicators all beeping at me and, I would be having, 3 or 4 trades a day and I was just on the road to ruin, right? And I was, right? Blew an account. But yeah, strip everything back, keep it as simple as you can and get out of this mindset of quick gains, right? And being in the market all the time. Right? People think the more they're in the market, the more profit they can make, right? But it's the opposite is true, right? So all new traders do this, right? They start on like the M15 or even the M5. They're like, right, I'm going to scalp in and out. I'm going to do that 5 times a day. I've got $100 on each trade. I make $500. I do that 5 times a week, right? I get 2,500. I make $10,000 a month, right? Thinking like that is nonsense, right? You just have to focus on each trade now, and treat each trade as if it's the most precious thing on earth, right? Don't be wasteful with your trades. I would rather have 4 good trades a month, right? 1 each week, and make 4% than have, 50 trades, right? And, 23 of them are good, are losers, and 27 are winners. And I'm up 4%, right? Which one's less time consuming? Which one is less emotionally taxing, right? So it's, I cannot stress this enough. It's finding something that suits you. And then everything becomes simplified and easier, right? We're launching a video tomorrow, Wednesday, about picking the right time frame for you. And that's very much a personality and lifestyle thing, right? I could give you a scalping, scalp the 5-minute all day, every day. You're like, Tom, I can't, I've got a job, right? So certain things can't suit you. So yeah, that would be my advice. And John, if you want help, right, we got the Discord channel. So please come join the Discord channel, guys. And we've also got the website, right? www.simply-forex.com. And there's loads of education about these things on there, right? So go check some of it out, right? Some of it costs money. Of course it does, right? But check some of it out. Mate, check the course out, right? Because it's going to have things in there that will help you find the system that's right for you. And join the Discord community because you've got hundreds of traders in there in the same boat. They're trying to learn trading, right? So you don't have to do it alone. So come join that, guys. And that goes for everyone, right? Come join the Discord channel. Go check out the website if you want some access to our education. And also, while I'm at it, guys, if you could please sign up with Pepperstone using our link, and we will give you 3 free things, right? We'll give you VIP, I'll give you a TradingView subscription, and we'll give you over 4 hours of a price action masterclass just by signing up with Pepperstone and opening a live account. So go check that out. Yeah, so there you go, John. And yeah, next time we meet, right, if you could pinpoint, excuse me, guys, man flu. Don't know if I mentioned it. I've been mentioning it to the wife every 20 minutes. She's like, Jesus Christ. Next time we meet, John, I want you to give me specifics, right? This is a problem. This is a problem. And this is a problem. And also focus on what you do well. I do this well. I do this well. And we can get a picture of you as a trader, right? And then we can, then we can help you, right? This is what I do on my mentorship, right? I pick traders to pieces, work out their strengths and weaknesses, and based on those, tailor a strategy to suit them, right? Sounds simple, it's not, but there you go. So I hope that helps, John. Also, guys, I want to mention this. So yeah, our in-house trader, Brett, every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time on our Discord, right, for free. So just join the Discord, and then you can become part of Brett's Sunday live stream, 5 p.m. UK time. And he pinpoints all the key locations where he will be taking trades from that week. It went down a storm on Sunday, and I'm sure it will go down a storm next Sunday as well. So please check that out, guys. You can see the link there as well. Right, before I totally lose my voice, has anyone got any more questions? And yeah, John, you're very welcome. Thanks for the feedback, Tom. I may be overcomplicating things. Yeah, that is human nature, right? I try and get a hold of traders and strip them back, because what they've done over the years, I prefer working with new traders, like beginners, because you can just install good habits and good things. But traders who have been in the game for a couple of years and haven't necessarily got the consistency they want, they have picked up so many crap, bad habits. And it's so difficult to break those bad habits down. And then you start building proper foundations with that trader. Yeah, but it's really enjoyable when you see that transformation, right? When you get a hold of a trader, a little bit lost, and you get them into some consistency, right? There's nothing better you could do for someone, really. Right, what else are we looking at here, guys? Right, so Max is just pointing out we've got a big statement by the Swiss bank this afternoon. Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar. Well, we've got, the Economic Forum in Davos, which is literally all day. I was just listening to van der Leyen, the European Commissioner, right? The woman. Yeah, it was interesting. But again, I don't let what she's saying make me form opinions of the euro, rightly or wrongly. But in my years of experience, rightly, I don't let that noise interfere. Right, I can't see it on here, but we do have some ADP employment change. So this could affect some US dollar pairs later. Right, what else are we looking at, guys? Yeah, so EuroCAD, right, is literally at these daily highs. Right, now I'm in this trade. This is another one, right? Like I say, bad week so far, right? But gonna have them. Now, obviously, I want this level to hold, right? Whereas if you look at pound Canadian dollar, look at that. It's coming down nicely, right? Now, euro Canadian dollar and pound Canadian dollar would be highly correlated, right? Normally. But this euro strength is just, yeah, a bastard, to put it, bluntly. But yeah, this is looking very good, right? We held on to this H4 high, which is what I really like. We're still in this H4 downtrend, right? We're getting a big bearish candle, right? Just looking to take it back down. So yeah, that's looking good. Let's have a look at euro. No, let's have a look at New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. Yeah, I mean, this is what we want to see. Yeah, we want to start seeing a bit of rejection here. Obviously, that's not enough at the moment. And what else was I interested in today? Yeah, I was interested in a few Aussie dollar pairs, but it's become such a risk-off environment that, Aussie dollar CAD. I mean, look at that. I was thinking we could take that to. I zoom out. We could take that to these highs, right? Maybe we still can, right? And Aussie dollar, Swiss franc I was looking at, but I'm also looking at Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar sells, but we just can't get into that. New Zealand dollar has been really strong. And one thing you should know about the Aussie dollar is if the indices, so this is why things are very strange, right? So if we go to the indices, right? When the indices are doing this, right, Aussie dollar becomes weak. So as a single currency, right, they are positively correlated, right? Indice does that, Aussie dollar does that. Whereas if the indice does that, then yen does that. It becomes strong as a single currency. We are seeing this, but we're not seeing this, right? And another big one is obviously gold. If the indices are doing this, gold flies up, and that is, right? I mean, I just keep looking at silver. It's just like strong, like on rocket fuel or something. I'm not sure what it's on, right? But yeah, obviously precious metals, right? They're like a flight to safety as well. And we've already spoke about Swiss franc, right? That is strong, right? But yen isn't. So, what is going to make yen strong? Yeah, what do you think, guys? I'd be really interested to know. Why don't you come join our Discord and let me know? That would be an idea. Yeah, exactly, Brett. Swiss franc seems to be dominating strength-wise, absolutely. Right, Nero, let's have a look at the NAS. All right, let's finish with the NAS. Let's try and make a bit of, where could this go? Now, this, I've already got this level in, is a key level. Let me just drag it to the left a bit, right? Now, all I'm looking for is where has price hit a lot, right? I mean, it even held there, right? Here and here. So that is a key level, right? Not, is it, isn't it? It is, right? Now, I am looking at this chart and I'm also seeing this trend line. Right, you could put that in as well. But ultimately, right, unless this low break, I mean, let's go back as far as here, right? Unless this low breaks here, right, we are still in an uptrend. And it's looking like, thus far, we're holding on to that level. So that suggests, if the daily candle, let's say the daily candle finishes like this, then we're holding on to that level. And that would suggest the NASDAQ wants to potentially come up, back up to these highs, maybe test this trend line, right? So again, a very important candle for the NAS. If we get a candle like this and it breaks that low, I can see more of a sell-off, right? And I'd keep aiming for that, just the next support levels for targets. So really important daily candle for the NAS today, right? So let's see how that plays out. And as always, guys, if you've enjoyed my analysis, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Please go check out the promotion if you want access to my course. Also, guys, let's do this same time again tomorrow. Come join me, 12 p.m. GMT, and we will do more of the same. Hopefully, my man flu will leave the building. All right, guys, have a great trading day. See you soon.